Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Market Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and last week we had earnings season kick things off, and there were some pretty big announcements from Tesla and Netflix, rather disappointing. And that, my friends, is where we're going to start this week's Monday Market Must Knows. Coming up on Monday morning session, we have two announcements with regards to earnings, and they're not really that exciting. You have Twilio and HCA Healthcare. Now, of course, we have 992 companies reporting earnings, so we're just going to cherry pick and show you some of the majors. There are a lot more than what I'm showing you here, so please be careful out there. Now, in green, we're highlighting companies that are very, very volatile, most likely part of the FANG stock group. We have Microsoft reporting on Tuesday, as well as Pfizer, Merck, Eli Lilly, AMD, British Petroleum, and Caterpillar. We'll call Tuesday Drug Tuesday because of Pfizer, Merck, and Eli Lilly reporting. On Wednesday, we have General Electric, we have Boeing, we have Ford, Visa, MasterCard, Gilead, and UPS, which has been on an absolute tear recently. But none of this really matters because it's going to come down to Thursday. Thursday, we get most of the major components of the FANG stocks, and they may take a big bite out of the market depending on what those earnings numbers come out to be. Thursday, after market close, we have Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. That right there should be enough to make people tremble a little bit with regards to market direction. But wait, there's more. We've got Twitter, we've got Starbucks and Activision, as well as many more. I believe there's 390 companies reporting on Thursday alone. Those ones in green that you see on Thursday are all after market close, which means we could see a crazy Friday trading session based off what those earnings numbers are and the reaction to those FANG stocks. On Friday, we've got AbbVie, ExxonMobil, we've got Chevron, Phillips 66, we have Philip Morris, and Honeywell all reporting earnings. So it's a busy day for earnings all week, really. Now, the next piece of information is going to be advanced GDP. Now, why is this important? Well, advanced GDP gives us a little bit of a head start with regards to the final GDP numbers. Now, I don't know why this is, but the economists have decided to give us three different numbers for GDP, which is gross domestic product. You have advanced, preliminary, and then you have final. Most people think the final is the most important, but really what sets the whole stage is the advanced number. Now on Thursday, October 29th at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, this number will be released. And as you can see on this chart, it has been dreadful. We've had two extremely bad negative quarters. Really nothing in history compared to that one that we saw in the previous quarter for Q2. But we'll get the advanced number for Q3. Now, what we're really hoping is that it lines up somewhere within this little yellow box that you see on your screen. Where? I don't know. I don't have a clue. My job isn't to anticipate that. It's to see how the markets react to it and trade accordingly. Hopefully, we see something up at maybe the -10, -15, showing that all the stimulus that the government and our central banks have put into the economy are working. But we'll have to wait and see. So be very careful as that announcement comes out. That's probably one of the major announcements of the week, other than the FANG stocks. But wait, there's more. Central banks, that's right, the central banks, as you guys know, central banks are responsible for dictating what that interbank lending rate is. What does that mean? Put it in layman's terms, it means what is the cost of doing business for businesses? Now, as those rates start to rise, it constricts growth a little bit. Most of those rates have been staying very, very low, and three central banks are slated to come out with announcements this week. We'll start things off with the Bank of Canada. Bank of Canada has been at 25 basis points for a few quarters, and of course, we'll see if that number changes, but right now the expectation is it's going to stay at 0.25%. That announcement comes at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, a tentative announcement from the Bank of Japan. Now, the Bank of Japan has been negative for quite some time, negative 0.1% to be precise. Let's just punish those savers. Now, they haven't released a specific time as this is a tentative announcement. It may change, but it's slated for Wednesday right now. That leads us to probably the more significant central bank number, which is going to be coming out on Thursday from the ECB, the European Central Bank. Now, the European Central Bank has said, we are not going to go negative. But you know what? It's 2020. If you're going to go negative and do something absolutely nuts, now is the time to do that. That number will be reported at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday from the ECB. Now, the most important thing here is not necessarily the rate announcement itself or what that number is, but what those central bankers are saying about their respective economies going forward. That will be the real driver, so pay attention to those press conferences, which usually are shortly after that rate announcement. That, my friends, is the Monday Market Must Knows. We'll see you next week.